Introduction to Physiology of Reproduction. Learning outcome describe the sexual development and differences between male and female. Describe the stages of pubertal development. And describe changes occurring during puberty in male and female. And describe control of puberty onset, early onset and delayed onset. So the purpose of reproduction is to preserve and perpetuate of the species and to maintain a stable dynamic state in particular species. And there are two genders, male and female, where the sex differentiation was depend on Y chromosome and single pair of endocrine structures, the testes and ovaries. So actually human chromosome of each somatic cells have 46 chromosomes, where the 23 pairs 44 are somatic chromosomes or autosomes, and 22 sex chromosomes or one pair is X and Y. And sex was determined by genetic, gonadal, genital, and also psychosocial. So for the genetic, in normal human being there are 46 pair of chromosomes, where the 22 pairs are autosomes and one pair is sex chromosomes. And for the male, when a sperm containing Y chromosome fertilizes an ovum, the resultant zygote develops into a genetic male having XY pattern of sex chromosome. So the karyotype is 44XY. And for genetic female, when a sperm containing X chromosome fertilizes an ovum, the resultant zygote develops into a genetic female having XX pattern of sex chromosome. So the karyotype is 44XX. Progeny sex determination. Gender is determined by the genetic inheritance of two chromosomes called sex chromosomes, X the large one and Y the smaller one. Female possess two X chromosomes and male have one X and one Y chromosomes. So ovum contributes one X while sperm contributes half X and half Y. Hence the union of sperm and ovum or fertilization resulted in half XX and half XY. Male genetic sex. The presence of Y chromosome determines the maleness of the individual. So the genetic sex was determined by Y chromosome. The Y chromosome contains SRY gene or sex determining region of the Y, which is located on the distal part of its short arm. This gene encodes the testis determining factor, which is for testicular formation, which binds to DNA, induce differentiation of cells into testes. Then happen the virilization or masculinization of the genital duct and external genitalia also expressed requires the presence of an androgen hormone receptor. This receptor is encoded by the gene present on the X chromosome. Therefore, the X chromosomal gene also contributes to the development of maleness. And this is the sex determining region of Y chromosome, where it's located in the short arm. Female genetic sex. The normal female chromosomal pattern consists of 44 autosomes and a pair of X chromosomes. The absence of Y chromosome, thus SRY gene also absent. Therefore, TDF do not develop. Hence, instead of male gonads, ovaries develop when both the sex chromosomes are X. So when there is the absenteeism of SRY region, the X chromosome will dominate and produce female gender. This is the chromosome sex. Gonadal sex. Gonad responsible for production of male and female gametes. Also produce sex hormones needed for the growth and development of primary and secondary reproductive organs and structure. In male, the Leydig cell, testosterone producer, appear at 8 to 9 weeks. The testis starts secreting testosterone to help in development of male sex, And the SRY gene prevents the synthesis of estrogen and inhibits the enzyme aromatase, which inhibits the development of female system. And in normal genetic female, the differentiation of indifferent gonad into female gonad starts after 9 weeks of gestation. And sexual differentiation occur. Look into the male by 10 week. SRY protein in male embryo directs the bipotential gonads to develop into testes. Hence, the testes produce testosterone and anti-Mullerian hormone, which causes the Mullerian ducts to disappear. And in the female embryo, absence of anti-Mullerian hormone allows the Mullerian ducts to become the fallopian tube, uterus, and upper part of the vagina, and then the Wolffian duct disappear. So as a summary, when there is SRY present, so it produces testosterone and anti-Mullerian hormone, which cause Mullerian duct to disappear. Hence, Wolffian duct will develop. And in female, when there is no SRY, so Mullerian duct develop to become fallopian tube, uterus, and vagina. So mechanism of sex differentiation in male, when there is presence of XY chromosome, so there is expression of SRY gene on Y chromosome, and fertilized cells will release Mullerian inhibitory, cause regression of Mullerian duct, and Leydig cells also release testosterone, will cause transformation of Wolffian duct into epididymis, vas deferens, and seminal vesicle, and also development of penis, scrotum, and prostate. And mechanism of sex differentiation in female, when there is presence of XX chromosomes and the absence of SRY gene, will cause differentiation of primordial gonad into fetal ovaries, and also absence of Mullerian inhibitory. So transformation of Mullerian duct into vagina, uterus, fallopian tube will occur. And there is also absence of testosterone. So sex also can be influenced by psychosocial. Male masculinity dominating active decision making, and female femininity, mild social ability, and childcare. Reproductive life. Male begins at puberty, about 10 to 14 years, continuous production of sperm, and there is no definite end, and the fertility happen throughout their life. So the female begins at puberty, 9 to 13 years. Cyclical release of volume or ovulation occur monthly, and reproductive life ends at menopause, which about 45 to 55 years old, and fertile only for a few days following each ovulation. And puberty. Definition of puberty: the period of transition from non-reproductive state to state of reproductive functions that allow procreation. Hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis is activated to bring the gametogenic functions to their threshold of reproductive maturation, and the endocrine and gametogenic functions of the gonads first develop to the point where the reproduction becomes possible. So hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis, hypothalamus located in the brain secreted the gonadotrophic releasing hormone, and then it will travel down to the anterior pituitary and bind to receptor at adenohypophysis cells, and in response the adenohypophysis cell will produce luteinizing hormone and also FSH hormone, which travels into the bloodstream. Thus, in the female, FSH and LH activate the ovaries to produce estrogen and inhibin and regulate the menstrual cycle and ovarian cycle. And in males, luteinizing hormone stimulates the testis interstitial cells to produce testosterone, and FSH plays an important role in spermatogenesis. So stages of puberty, according to Tanner's classification, for boys, stage 1, called as pre-adolescent stage. What happened here is adrenergy, where the increased secretion of adrenal androgen, and there is no enlargement of external genitalia during this stage. And stage 2, testes enlarged due to growth of seminiferous tubules. And stage 3, penis enlarged, pubic hair become darker, sperm first appear in the morning sample urine. And stage 4, penis enlarged in width and length, scrotal enlargement occurs, and ejaculation of sperm occurs in dreams or sexual act. And stage 5, full adult pattern of sexual features develop. Stages of puberty, according to Tanner's classification. For female at the stage 1 pre-adolescent stage happen where adrenergy also increased secretion of adrenal androgen, and at this time no breast develop, no pubic hair present. And stage 2 telarchy, breast development starts, secretion of estrogen increase. And stage 3, breast enlarged with enlargement of areola, pubic hair develops, grow and become dark. Hair appears in axilla. And stage 4, breast further enlarged with areola and papilla projecting out of it. Pubic hair becomes adult type and menstrual cycle starts. Stage 5, full adult pattern of breast and pubic hairs develop. Menstrual cycle occurs regularly. Mechanism of puberty, the hypothalamic neurons gradually mature to secrete small gonadotrophin hormone. And puberty marks the end of childhood and is a period when individuals undergo physiological and psychological changes to achieve sexual maturation and fertility. And DHEA also secreted from adrenal gland plays some role in the maturation of hypothalamic neurons. So our research finding also found that DHEA also influence the development of the left dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and cause the maturation which lasts until adulthood. And at the right temporal parietal junction, there is distinction. There is development in the understanding, empathy, social interaction, and morality due to the ages. And leptin also plays some role in the onset of puberty, where experiment by Kennedy and Mitra, amount of body fat is required for proper pubertal development. And leptin also accelerate gonadotrophin releasing hormone pulsatility in hypothalamic neurons, and it has a direct effect on the anterior pituitary master gland. And control of the onset of puberty, the gonads of children can be stimulated by gonadotrophin. Normal menstrual cycle can be brought on the pulsatile injection of the gonadotrophin releasing hormone, and from birth to puberty, the neuromechanism is operating to prevent the normal pulsatile release of gonadotropin releasing hormone. And disorders of puberty, first, precocious and delay and absent. There are two precocious. First is true precocious and pseudo precocious, where the true precocious begins changing into adult too soon, 8 years in girls, before 9 in boys, and includes rapid growth on bones and muscle, changes body shape and size. And pseudo-precocious is a partial pubertal development resulted from the production of estrogen, breast development, rapid growth, irregular vaginal bleeding, and not have true menstrual cycle. and this happens without gametogenesis. And also the delayed and absent puberty, where in the male testicular development was failed, called as eunuchoidism, lack of fully developed reproductive organs and manifestation of certain female sex characteristics. And in female, body changes later than usual, no breast developed by 13-year-old, no menstrual period by age 16, and amenorrhea, menstruation is absent during the reproductive years between puberty and menopause. Okay, that's all. Thank you very much.